Perfect. All right. So, what do you think you need to work on? Like, what have you noticed about your gameplay that's like, I need help?
Um, like I told you before, a lot of it is me being passive in lane.
Oh,
I
okay, okay,
actually
okay.
had a
I see.
Shinshin on my team that game. So I've been
Ooh,
playing with like higher elo players, if you could see. It's just I feel like my team fighting's okay. I feel like I'm just a little too passive in lane. Like I try to let my support control the lane
interesting,
and
interesting.
go playing based off that.
So basically, it's like, how do you like when how do when you're not supposed to be passive in lane? How do you win lane, right?
Yeah.
So in this lane, tell me, what are your thoughts? You see Varus Blitz, and you're against what is this, Kog'Maw Lulu, right?
Yeah, I the only way I think we win this lane is all inning if we land a blitz hook.
So the win condition that you've identified is land this Blitz hook, and you go to town, right?
Right?
Land the Blitz hook, you do max damage combo, right? So what's your maximum damage combo?
Well, I'm playing Fervor Bork Varus, so landing 3 stacks and then landing an E.
100% correct, right? And after that, it's like, yeah, you spam stacks and throw Q or something, right? So that's exactly right, right? And then you see that they have cleanse and heal, and you have heal and ignite. So that means they can exhaust you, and watch out for ignite on Blitz, ignite on Kog'Maw, because that doesn't exist, right? He can cleanse at any time. So
Yes.
you guys have to leash. Uh, they leash as well. So in order to not be passive, what do you need to do? If you're in a winning matchup, like, is this a winning matchup or a losing matchup?
Uh, it depends, but I
Okay,
mean,
good.
considering we
What
have the all in,
what does it
I'd say
depend on?
it's landing a skill shot. Because
Right.
if he doesn't land a skill shot, I mean, Lulu just presses WE on Cog and he with his W up and he just destroys us.
So is there any point in time you can go in before Blitzcrank lands a hook?
We can get the level 2 advantage and go in. Maybe he can get a knock up first.
Right. Or if he like,
Or God.
what were you, sorry, were you gonna say something? Oh, okay, yeah. Or if they like miss something, right? If Kagwa presses W to like hit minions, the instant it goes
If
down,
his W is on cooldown.
they can't do anything, right? Yeah, because they zero damage without W, right? So
Yeah.
if we watch this laning phase,
Yeah.
you go for the level 2, right? So you said it depends. Okay, that was a really good trade. You said it depends on you guys winning lane depends on Blitzcrank landing stuff, right?
Yeah.
Wait, where is it going with this? Okay, wow, this is really good. This is kind of awkward though. He's hitting you.
Yeah, he was kind of out of range.
Interesting, interesting. I think that's still a fine trade, right? Because Lulu's also losing health. Even though she has pots, it should be okay because you guys are about to get level 2, right? Oh, this is awkward. This is the wrong minion. Oh, okay, it should be fine. Wait, what's going on here?
Hammer
Oh, you
just
guys got
fucked
the
up.
level 2. Um, so why are you playing so far back? Quick question. Yeah, like what's the reasoning here? Like here.
Didn't have vision of the jungler. I don't know. Like I
So
said,
one
that's what I mean. Sometimes I play a little too passive, which is my
so
problem.
one thing that'll like really help is asking yourself, where did the jungler start? Right? So if they start bot, for example, right? Like they got to lane late, so there's a high chance he started bot, then he's not going to be ganking bot, right? Unless he wants to sacrifice his topside jungle and do like Scuttle Crab or something and come bot for a cheese gank. In which case, how do you die to the gank?
I had to get slowed by Lulu into a Cho'Gath knockup.
Yeah, and even then, if you're a full HP, you still live, right? Flash heal. And then Cho'Gath wastes his time, loses top half jungle, they lose top lane, right? So if you think about it that way, right, this it's good that we're looking at this because this is a common problem with like knowing when the jungler can come after you, right? So this is like level 2 Cho'Gath. What can he do? He's gonna press Q and then that's it, right? Like, he can't do anything else. If this was like let's say Ezreal, maybe a little different, right? Or Elise, maybe she can do some cheese stuff. But it's very important to like know that in this situation you shouldn't be afraid, right? So the instant you see, I can't see this right now, but the instant you see this Kog'Maw used his Q, he used his W, Lulu used her shield, you can go in, right? Because it's about to go down. It's about to expire like right now, right? So it's gone. It's down. You can hit them when he's going for this minion, right? So not being passive in lane is like looking to pressure on CS, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So pressuring on CS is like, if he wants this, you want to make it so he's like afraid to get it, right? So you walk up and you're like, I'm gonna hit you if you try and take this. Obviously you can't do that if you're like in a losing lane, right? Or you're getting pushed in. Except there are like factors where you can't do that, but if you can, you always try to do that, right? Like on these minions, you can hit Lulu. Let's back it up. All right, and then remember your like max damage. Like when is using E worth it in lane for poking or trading?
If you can hit them.
Right, you need an auto attack and E, right? So just E by itself is like kind of awkward because it has a 14-second cooldown, right? So
it has
every
a lot
time
of mana cost too.
Yeah.
I'm realizing.
Think about it this way. Remember when we talked about like, oh, if Kog'Maw uses W, we can just like butt blast them, right? So
right.
Isn't that the same thing if you use your E? Right? So being able to like get higher value off your abilities, and that's like for Varus in lane, it's like one auto attack in E or as many stacks as you can and then E. And then for Kog'Maw, it's like as many auto attacks on his W, right? So the instant you like recognize that these things are gone means you can go or you can't go, right? So he pressed W, right? So all you have to do, wait this out and then go in when that shit is gone. And then like Blitz can walk up, they can't do anything. You can walk up, they can't do anything. Right? If you save your E, like you can't fight him if he has his W on. So you save your E and then you walk up, and if he doesn't hit CS, he's losing CS, right? Like if he pressed W when you didn't need to last hit, okay, he is zoning you a little. But like if he tries to harass you when you don't need a last hit, that's like, it doesn't matter, right? So he's like pressuring on the CS, like this one right here. If you had your E, he would be like, oh, you don't have your W, I'm gonna hit you in EU, right? So in terms of like fixing, or maybe not fixing, but like improving on how to be more aggressive, like the first thing is, you know, figure out win conditions, right? Like you said, Blitzcrank Q, there's like Lulu Shield, Kog'Maw W, Varus E, and Varus stacks, right? All that stuff. And then you say, okay, as long as he didn't miss, I can go up. So like this, all of this changes. If Blitzcrank Q'd to your tower, like wasted his Q somehow, right? All this changes. You can't do anything, right? But if he has it, right, there's like potential there, right? He's not gonna miss if they're like in minions, right? He's gonna walk up and fist them and hook them, right? So if he has it up, you don't have to be afraid, right? If they use their stuff, you don't have to be afraid, right? And then the question is, you know, what if no one uses anything? Then how do you do anything, right? That's when you push minions, because the side that has more minions is gonna win a fight, right? So
levels.
Any questions so far, by the way?
Not yet.
All right, so laning is it's gonna be more of this, right? So using E to farm is like, can't do that, because every time you use it, you can't fight, right? So this whole time you haven't had like a really good E level 1, and then after that it was like you can't fight at all because you've been using it to last hit minions, right? Like you want these minions, right? And that's why you used it.
Well, there was like a few low, and I figured I could poke him at the same time, but looking at it now, he had Lulu Shield on anyways, so
yeah, even if you didn't have Lulu Shield, it's still not good, right? Good value would be at least one auto attack, and then E, or anything more than one auto attack is fantastic, right? But at least one, because even if you didn't have Lulu Shield, you're just like, what is this, Doran Shield or like Feast or whatever? That's all the HP comes back like immediately. So you need something more than that. And here's another thing that's like
this game, which isn't ideal.
Oh, sorry. What would you say?
It's funny. It's funny because like looking at the team comps, I have a friggin' AD Bard top.
Yeah, what the hell is this shit? Wait, Cho'Gath died though. That's kind of funny. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. He surprised me. It wasn't as bad as I thought, but still not ideal.
Yeah, so when he misses this, right, that's your cue to say, okay, we can't do anything. So you don't hit them at all, because they're gonna hit you back and you're gonna lose because he missed a hook, right? So it's always about playing around cooldowns and like matchup, right? So every time Lulu missed her shield, there was a bunch of times she missed her shield. That's the same thing as Blitzcrank missing a hook, except on like a different scale, right? Like less risk, less reward, right? But it's still it's like similar concept, wasting abilities. Varus is nice in that you don't really need abilities to push because of your passive, right? So that's nice. Okay, so like the instant this goes down, that's when you know you can go in, right? The instant that goes down, it's like, oh, I'm gonna hit this guy. Like maybe not on that minion, but this minion right here, you can do something if Blitzcrank is like has his hook up, right? So look for those like opportunities on your minions, right? On your minions. And when you have abilities up and they don't. That's like the obvious one. And then if everyone has their abilities up, it's based on matchup, right? So even if you're in a losing matchup, right? Say Blitzcrank misses hook, you guys, these two are losing matchup, they can go in, right? So based on matchup, if everyone has their stuff up. Based on matchup and wave control. And then throw in the junglers as well. But if you can draw jungle pressure, that's like really good. Okay, so what's wrong with this picture?
Is W and Lulu shield up?
Right, so they have everything, and it's like you can get everything too. But what's the factor that you don't know?
The junglers?
No. You don't know if this guy can land his stuff yet, right?
Yeah.
So if they all in and he flashes, well, you probably won't die, but you probably can't die. But he's gonna land his stuff, so this is gonna be really good, right? He's gonna flash, he's gonna walk away. This is really good. Wait, hold on, let's back it up again. Shield goes down. Trying last hit. Hitting back. It's actually pretty good, in all honesty.
It's not a bad trade.
It was actually pretty good, right? Because Blitzcrank has pots, right? So it's pretty good, I think. That was good. I thought like they were just gonna back off and you're gonna take damage, but it was good. And then even better is that this Cho'Gath comes out. Why do I say that?
Waste his time besides blowing the Blitzcrank flash.
Yeah, exactly. It's like not worth his time at all. And you still have both sums. Wow, that's really good. So yeah, but now you have to play a little bit safe. Sure, that's fine. You drew jungle pressure, so top is like winning. Top, mid, and your jungle are like slightly winning now. Slightly winning more. I can't really see the CS though. It's kind of awkward.
Yeah, that's the thing with like doing the in-client replay. It's like if you put the scoreboard up, it blocks like half the lane.
Yeah, that's so true. But yeah, you see it's like we're seeing like the same thing in this lane, right? So it's easy fix, right? Use your E if you're like desperate and you really can't do anything, like this is 1v2, using E to farm is good, right? It's fine. But if you're able to pressure, then you should hold on to it, right? So that's one thing you can already focus on. And then another big one is look to pressure on when they're trying to last hit, when you have like an advantage, right? When you have like the matchup advantage. Okay, this is a bad gank. I don't know what's going on here. He has no flash, so this flash hook is not coming out. This is super awkward. So you gotta run. There's no way this is working. He's just gonna cleanse. Worst case scenario. Oh my god, that should not have happened. But he got killed anyways, so that's really bad. So yeah, how do we know this gank wasn't gonna work?
This crank's already chunked. Still, and they see him coming. Not in range for anything.
It's like not guaranteed, right? It's literally impossible for this to work, right? Like
the way that we could catch up, we can't because Blitzcrank doesn't have flash.
Exactly, they just walk away, and then they heal his hook. Worst case scenario. I'm surprised he even got the hook off, but yeah, that's kind of awkward. If this ever like, if you ever see something like this and you notice it, it's always nice to back ping. But this is not your fault, I would say, right? This is not really your fault. This is like your jungle wants to gank, unless you were calling for the gank. I think this is not really.
Yeah, no, I wasn't.
Not really your fault. Yeah. It's like, it doesn't work. This is as bad as that Cho'Gath gank earlier, right? So that's kind of spooky. And then obviously, trading kills for scaling AD carry is not good, right? And you didn't even get the kill, so that's even more awkward. Oh, okay. I already get something. Wait, that's spicy. Okay, interesting. Maybe it wasn't that bad. But top lost too, so that's kind of awkward. I don't know. I wouldn't really say that was too worth it, but it isn't. We don't really want to focus on it. What we cared about was the earlier stuff, right? The laning, using E for like better value, right? That's your win condition on Varus, right? You can't just use it. It's like if you use Tristana Bomb to push minions, then try and fight after. You know that's dumb, right? Like you see it, like everyone sees it all the time. So you gotta keep
That's
that
your
like in
damage.
mind. So like your mindset is like, oh, if I push with a bomb, you wait until your bomb is back. Unless you're baiting, right? Unless you have your jungler nearby and you say, lol, I don't have my bomb, come hit me, and your jungler comes out, right? That might be a reason why you waste abilities or have less value from your abilities, right? But most of the time, you want to like, for Varus, you want at least one auto attack with your E, right? So what's going on here? Let's back it up a bit. You guys get to lane. I don't know what Blitzcrank is doing. He's probably gonna get hit for no reason. You don't know where the jungler is, right? So Blitz can't be like forward because if he hooks someone, he's gonna die to a gank. So what's your like mindset here when you see something like this and you don't know where the jungler is?
Just kind of slow farm or well, I feel like I have two options here. I could slow farm and let the wave push back, so that way I don't get ganked, or I can shove in really hard and then ward up.
How do you shove this in though?
I have to burn all my abilities, but they have a bigger wave than us right now, so.
Right. So if you try and like fast push this or like clear this, they're just gonna kill you, right? They're just gonna run you down. So your only like realistic option is to like only last hit, like you said. You can like sit at your tower, but that's like worst case scenario, right? No one has flash and you're like low HP or something. Or you can try and like clear as much as possible if he lets you, right? If you hit these minions and he doesn't pressure you, that's you're happy with that, right? Like this, like he didn't pressure you, so you'd be happy with that. So it's good that you're playing safe here, right? The option to try and like this is an example of you have a like winning quote unquote matchup, but because they're pushing like this, you can't pressure, right? So you have to wait until you can clear, you can thin out this wave. Okay, yeah. Same, we already know, we already talked about this, so I think that'll be a big fix for you at least. Do you like do that with other champions too? Is it just like a Varus thing?
I tend to do it with a lot of champions.
Okay, yeah. Definitely save it for higher value, right? Because every time you do that, sure you get like the instant gratification of the CS, but then it's like they know you that's like telling them you don't have a gank coming. That's like and that you can't do anything, right? It's like that's like saying like I can't pressure you no matter what. Like the instant you do that, you have no options, right? If you have it up, maybe something can happen. But even if like you use it and then blitz hooks, it's like a bad hook, right? Basically, you also limit your own blitz's options if you do something like that. It's the same how if blitz misses a hook, you can't do anything, right? It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. So if someone in this lane wastes something, his partner can't do anything. And then if Lulu screws up, you can mess with Kog or Lulu. Kog messes up, same thing, right? So, so you guys are trying to kind of push. Okay, so it's no longer really like a winning lane because they made it to level 6, right? So if Blitzcrank hooks, that's going to be a Lulu ult. Yeah, so the only way you kill anyone is if you 3 auto attacks, ultimate, 3 auto attacks, E auto, and then like 3 auto attacks and a Q or some shit like that, right? You need max damage. So
gotta look out for the Galio mid this game too. I was thinking about.
Right.
He's got teleport and he's got his ult.
Right. But if he's pushed in, he's not gonna come, guaranteed, right? Yeah. So what happens if he gets pushed in and he comes?
Galio gets pushed in and he comes. He loses CS and tower damage.
Right. And then the only person that's gonna die here is Blitzcrank, right? Blitzcrank hooks, Galio ults, Blitz is trying to run away. Like sure, Blitzcrank might die. That's the worst case scenario, and then they lose like first tower mid. So it's like Galio can't like if Galio is pushing your mid in, then you have to be scared, right? Okay, so a good example is Twisted Fate, right? And if Twisted Fate is getting pushed in by Talia, and he comes anyways, Talia can counter with the roam because she's super fast. Kind of a bad example, like Ahri. If Ahri's pushing in TF, and TF ults spot, and then maybe TF gets a kill or something, as long as you guys are getting something super good mid, then that's like the gank wasn't good enough, right? So if you're ever worried about like roams or TP pressure, like take a glance at how that lane is doing, right? And that would be like the best indicator. And then if something like Ahri is pushing in against TF and TF is going to do it anyways, your Ahri is probably going to back ping, right? Because she's like, oh, this guy is doing something stupid, let me push. And then we're going to win as a team. So So Ari's coming. Wow, this is really good. That was really good on her. She's not gonna get away. It's impossible. That was really good. Woo! Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. So you guys push this in. Okay, so now what? From here on, now what?
We could pressure tower or dive. We could go to dragon.
Can they stop you
down.
on any of those options? Which options can they not stop you at?
I probably stop both actually.
Yeah. So him back. Yeah, exactly. He's gonna beg. He's gonna beg. Yeah, basically, there's no way, right? The way you figure out if you can. So after you like get something, after you get an advantage, you want to get something, right? So you got the advantage. Now you want to get something. What can you get? You can't do anything because Cho'Gath's gonna come and just press Q on the wave, and then you guys can't kill him, right? So this is pretty spooky. Everyone should run, right? Everyone runs away. Okay, not bad. Okay, this Blitzcrank just killed himself. Holy smokes. Oh, this guy killed himself, right? Oh! Okay, he killed. Okay, good. We're good. We're good. Holy shit. Wow. Okay,
and
so
Ari died to the Kog passive.
I don't know what I'm watching, but I think it is some interesting stuff, right? So, okay, the important thing to note is that you guys know you wanted it back, and that's good. And that's the important part. Because if they chase, they lose, right? So they chase, they should have lost. I don't really know what I was watching, but I think they should have lost, right? What happened here? Okay, we'll just focus on you, right? So I don't care about this shit. It's okay. So you want to help this guy, right?
Yeah.
What can you offer him?
Well, I'm half health and kind of on a mana, so I can't really offer him too much.
Right, you can't really do anything, right? Do you have a mana for an E or something? Do you have like mana for an E?
I feel like it would have been okay if I didn't get hit by the Galio E.
Right.
I ended up getting CC'd and Cho'Gath still had ulti.
Yeah, that's like super awkward. Basically, if you ever want to fight, right? Obviously, if you ever want to fight, you should like wait, hold on. Let's back it up. Okay, let me restart my statement. Every time you want to fight, you need to ask yourself, do I have this kill potential, first of all? And second of all, how do I stop them from when using their win conditions, right? So like you said, Cho'Gath win condition is ult, and then Galio's win condition is his taunt and his E, right? So how do you stop Cho'Gath ult? You stay away from him. Sure, don't get hit by knockup. You just saw it be used. How do you stay away from Galio's win condition? Walk away from his E, right? So if Galio chases you, Maokai's gonna walk on his face, right? And then you can help, right? But until then, it's like don't walk up to this. Like, this could be any champion, right? Okay, so this could be
up too far.
This could be like any mid laner, right? So you always have to keep that in mind. It's like really hard to do, but if this is like a frequent problem, which I'm not sure if it is yet, then that could be something to work on, right? But yeah, is Maokai gonna get away? He's gonna die. Holy shit. That's awkward.
He's dead
everyone's fucking dead. All right, interesting, right? Because you died.
Chased right there.
Yeah, if you had lived, what could you have like gotten? Like, what is this? 3 waves or something, right? Maybe you won that fight. I don't know, but that was like a big turning point in the game, right? But that was a really good ult flash on Lulu earlier, I have to say. This is kind of awkward. What's going on here? Okay. Oh, you're dead. Oh, this is awkward.
And now I'm dead.
So it's still the same thing with the what's it called? Like a gank, right? It's like, okay, so here's another question. How do you die to a gank? Like, what are indicators that tell you you're gonna die in terms of like advantages and disadvantages? Like, for example,
spell disadvantage.
Yeah. Like flash and HP, right? That's like those are the biggest indicators. There, obviously, everything counts. Like your how many abilities you have and your positioning and all that. But flash and how much HP you have are always the biggest ones, right? So you have all HP, but you have no flash, right? So the instant you see this, what should you do?
I'm pretty dead though here.
Yeah, your only option was ult, right? So if you play like this, you're saying I'm gonna ult the instant he comes out, right? Because if you don't, you're just dead, right? So you just didn't know he was gonna come, right? And that was also like really good Q
Yeah.
by him too. But if you don't have flash and you don't have HP, you have to assume they're coming for you, right? And then if they're coming for you, what's your plan, right? So yeah, Cho'Gath is also broken, so that's also stupid. But
Yeah.
I would agree that the whole this is kind of interesting, but the whole like being passive in lane was a factor. But there were like a bunch of big turning points that I think could have been examined at closer, like that one, and then the one where you like walked into Galio, right? So I think it's like what is it? You were afraid of. It's like no. This all ties in together, right? You need to know when to be afraid of the jungler, right? Or when to be afraid of the enemy laners. And the big indicators are HP and flash, right? So if in the early game you're saying I'm afraid of the jungle gank, but you have HP, if you have flash and high HP, right? Even if it's an Elise who's very strong at ganking, you like can't die, right? Unless you fail the flash on her cocoon or she predicts your flash somehow. It's very hard to kill someone with flash, right? So as long as you have those indicators telling you if you're safe or not, then you should play accordingly, right? You have flash, you have high HP, you have a winning matchup, you play aggressive. You contest every CS if you can, right? If your support misses, okay, don't contest CS. If they miss, you definitely contest CS, right? And then if you don't have flash and heal and the jungler's missing, you say, okay, this is an indicator of a possible gank, right? So what do I do if he comes out, right? So you can like try and think of it in that way, because that fixes like three things in one, right? It'll tell you be more aggressive in the early game when you have all your shit up, and then play safe when you don't have anything up. You know, assume they're coming out. The instant you don't see them, you have to then the instant you see them somewhere else like top, then you're like, okay, good, this is a 2v2. And then like, well, I guess that's just two things, not three things, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I get you.
So what's the plan here? So they took the tower. You're stuck in this lane. What's like the idea here?
Well, I got the wave. The wave's already pushing, so I was gonna push this as far as I can, and then rotate mid.
All right. So you want to rotate mid, because maybe you want to face against Galio. You want to unlock Ari in a side lane, so she has kill pressure. Yada yada yada. Right? Mid is good to go. And I agree. I would say mid is a good spot to go to. Once you push this out. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna like be able to eat up like dragon and everything else. So all right, nice. And then you go mid. Sure. Ari's coming mid. That's awkward. Oh, here we go. This is a fight. That was really good. But wait, how'd you die? Holy smokes.
They have Arden. I walked up a little too close.
What the hell?
Blitz didn't even walk up at him too when I was coming. Maybe I should have pinged it more.
This is super awkward. It should have been good, but it was kind of awkward. So yeah, so it's the same thing in lane, except times 10, right? Why do I say it's the same thing in lane?
Yeah.
If he has W up, you can't fight, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He has to hit someone
And
else.
they have Arden at this point too.
Yeah, that's it's kind of a snowball effect, right? Because she wouldn't have Arden if all those fights went like better or some stupid shit, right? So it's kind of awkward, but in general, you can't 1v1 this guy, especially with Lulu around, unless you have items over him, right? Or abilities, right? So the idea here is very clear, right? You're gonna sacrifice some HP for CC, right? And usually that'll work, but Kog'Maw is just like super stupid. But here it's just like, I guess you just ult him and you back off until someone else can get him, right? Like one thing you can do is also like chase him, but stay out of his W range or stay in his W range, and the instant he turns to auto attack you, you can ult him then too. You can like wait a little, but I think this is just like a. I don't think we worry about this, right? This is kind of stupid. Kog'Maw is kind of stupid. If you play against Kagama a lot, maybe we need to worry about that, but I wouldn't worry about that one. That specific instance too much, right? We got bigger fish to fry, I think. So here, you're going to go clear bot, right? What's going on? Something's going on.
I want to fight dragon. That's what they're pinging anyway.
Yeah, this fight is pretty... Oh, wow. Holy shit. Nice kill. Unless you have ultimate, you're not going to get anything more. Blitz should probably not be staying. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, so some random fight happened. What's the plan now? What do you want to do now?
I just want to stay and pick up CS mid.
Right. It's kind of, you guys can't really.
Like, you can't really do much. Splits and RA are both kind of low.
Yeah, agreed. Right. So you want these guys want to reset. You want to hold mid. Maybe Maokai can go jungle if he thinks they can't dive you, etc. But this is pretty questionable. You guys are gonna lose dragon probably, right? They're just gonna push in and they're just gonna walk into dragon, and then it's like you guys can't do anything, right? Maybe fast forward this shit. Why is Ari still mid? This is super weird.
They saw them went to dragon and they were spam pinging to push mid.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Melted the dragon, so yeah.
You just want to push mid and run, right? So basically, this is yeah, okay. This is kind of an unlucky game because you also have a bird top, right? And they got Cho'Gath, right? Yep. And they have a Kog'Maw Lulu. But I think the big thing.
Super unlucky. I haven't gotten any Ardent supports like the last 20 games. It feels like.
That's really stupid. Like if you don't have an Ardent support, you gotta like destroy lane, right? So that's like super awkward. Yeah. Interesting. You think it's safe here? Okay. Pushing here.
I think I saw a lot of them back on the ward there after they did dragon, so I figured I was safe enough to push away. Yeah, as long as you think you're like safe or whatever, this is good to go. I don't know why Ari keeps going mid. Okay, if something like this happens and you think that you should be mid, but the mid laner is still going mid, right? If you told them go bot and they don't go bot, you should go bot, right? You can't share a lane of farm. Otherwise, okay, good, you go bot because otherwise then you're like automatically lose the game. When you get like 10 waves in. And then your team lost 10 waves because the carries are sharing mid. That's like super awkward. Yeah, I've had that happen before. I've learned from that.
Yeah, it's super unfortunate. Okay, so you see some shit going on top. You go mid to see maybe you can cover mid and go top. This dive is happening. You can kill it. Wait, don't you ult this guy? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't ult for some reason.
That's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's fine. Like losing a kill here and there is like not the end of the world, I would say. We also don't worry about that. I think you worry about that less too. You got his flash, right? And he has the back, so that's like almost as good as the kill. Except you just didn't get like 200 gold, and that's fine. You stay mid here, which is good. Ari's still coming mid. This game is just so. Do you have another game by any chance, or is this the only one?
No, this is the only one I have right now.
Okay. That's fine. It's just that this is kind of weird. Oh, wow. What's going on here? Whew! Okay, this is good. Oh, you're gonna die to Kog'Maw if you're not careful. Yeah. It's the same thing. It's always the same thing. Okay, so if we talk about are there any 80 carries that give you trouble, like in general?
Twitch. I ban Twitch a lot because I don't play him as much as I should because I don't know. I just feel like I play style as much. I've been trying to pick him up. I've been getting better, but as of right now, I'm not too comfortable on him. And Twitch has always seemed to pop off in that game.
Right. So Twitch is like, how does he get maximum damage in lane?
Sponge stacks.
Yeah, 6 auto attacks, 6 sponge, right? How does he get damage out of lane?
Same thing, except he stealths in with ulti.
Exactly, same thing except he stealths in with ulti. Okay, so how does Kog'Maw, how does he do damage in lane? W. How does he do damage out of lane? W with Lulu buffs, right? It's the same thing. So if this ever, so your mindset, always, unless you're like 15-0, and even then you have to be cautious, right? Always, he presses W, you walk away, unless you can kill him immediately, right? He presses W, you don't walk up to that thing because that's like super spooky. That was kind of good poke, I guess. But yeah, like the instant it goes down, that's when you know you can go in. And then the instant it's up, you're like, okay, you gotta play safe or you're gonna get one shot. Especially if it has like Gunsu's and this bullshit Lulu Ardent sensor. That's like pretty AIDS. Oh, okay. I'm surprised you didn't get caught there, but that is a-okay. Okay, you guys are gonna lose the tower though, because there's just nothing you can do without Blitzcrank hook, right? Are you guys gonna lose the tower? Well, maybe not. Oh, yeah, you guys are gonna lose the tower. Wait, let's watch his Maokai ult. Hold up. Oh, he was aiming Wukong. I see. But yeah, at this point in the game, how do you win as a team?
It's kind of hard to team fight them, like, because we have a Bard top and they have Kog Lulu double tanks.
Right. So this game.
So I feel like our win condition is getting picks.
Yeah, you need to like split to victory.
We got Blitz
right?
Hook, we got RHR, and we got my ulti.
Right. It's like very hard to win this game. Like you need a Miracle Hook on a backline. You need maybe Ari can split and then have Bard ulti pressure, right? Maybe Bard can ult half the team. You guys kill the other half. It's like really hard to win, right? So
I feel like if we kill Kog and I don't die to Wukong, I feel like we could still win because Bork Varus kills tanks pretty well. So as long as Kog dies, I feel like I could clean up the rest of them.
All right, but that's already gonna be hard to do.
That's hard to do.
Basically, as yeah, we can't really control anyone else, right? So as like the AD carry as us, we just like these are the kinds of games where you expect to lose, but you try and practice whatever you're working on, right? Yeah. So have you been like keeping track of what you've been you're like working on, or do you not do you like do that?
Yeah, I don't do it as often as I should, but if I notice a trend, then I keep it in the back of my mind and I try to work on it. So I said that like I've noticed the laning thing a lot lately. Right.
It's always good to have like goals on what you want to improve on for like every day or every week, right? Something like that. So you can always constantly work on that, right? So maybe for you, it'd be like, okay, we're gonna work on laning for the next 7 days, and it'd be like, if I have a winning matchup, I'm gonna look to pressure on every CS. If they ever miss an ability, that's when you know you can go in. If you have flash and high HP, you're safe from ganks. For the most part, like if it's like Kalista, Thresh, and Elise, you're not gonna be safe if you're pushed up. But for the most part, in lanes like this and most other lanes, it's gonna be safe, right? Flash and high HP. Those are the things that I would think are good right now. But this is like you fucking pray that someone can like land a hook, right? And then you just land all your abilities. Also, keep your mana high enough to do one rotation of spells, right? Why do I say that?
Well, I mean that's your damage.
Right, exactly. It's like kind of the concept of like having mana and cooldowns is like innate. It's like hidden pressure, right? You have it up, right? You would be scared to walk up to a Malphite if he has his ult, right? If say let's say your Blitzcrank hooks like the enemy support or whatever, and Malphite is in range. Do you hit the support or not? And you have no flash, right? Do you hit the support? No, you can't, because he ults you in the face, right? So having abilities and the mana to do so is like super important, right? Because if you have 0 mana, they're like, oh lol, he can't hit me with ultimate, so Kog'Maw walks up, right? Something like that. So that's like one thing that's like one kind of core thing I've been noticing is keep your mana on your abilities. Yeah. Like you can't do it. Like if fight broke out there, it doesn't matter what these team comps are. You would be like half as useful because you only can use one E.
Ult.
Ult. Just ult, right? Ult is 100 mana. You have 185. Okay, you can use like ult and E, right? So you can't use ult, E, and Q. And you know what's the value of Q? Well, you can burn 3 stacks with your Q, right? Something like that. Oh wow, this is interesting. Ooh, fancy. But this is a 4v5, so oh wow. But that's all you guys are gonna get. That was not bad. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Right. This is not good. Chasing a Cho'Gath is oh Jesus Christ. Okay, it's just Lulu. Oh, nice try. Maybe you can get dragon and
Just
run.
press this W and get away.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Oh, okay. Get the dragon and run, right? Jesus Christ. Wait, did he? Oh, you guys got it. You guys got it. Okay.
Yeah, he died.
This game.
Told you this turns into a fiesta.
I can see why you say that now. But yeah. So like, you see the
There's
issue.
the scoreboard for
You see the issue with like sharing a lane, right?
Yeah.
What, like the timer and the CS is something's wrong here, right? Everyone has like super low CS, so basically if you can like you like need to catch waves. Like if you basically don't share lane, right? You can't share lane. Maybe if there's always fights going on, this is fine. And this game is like, it's kind of like there are a lot of fights going on.
They're pressuring mid like for the past 10 minutes, so that's kind of why.
Yeah. But if like they aren't, or you have like time to, holy shit, you guys are gonna get this. But if
Wukong and Bard both don't have TP, so.
Oh my god, Galio's TP. Holy shit. Alright, well, this is a good call. Right? So, this is one of the only ways your team can win the game. As Baron and Elder Dragon, right? So this is really good. Oh my god, he almost got it. Okay, you just go. You go off here, you kill that Cho'Gath, you gotta kill everyone. And then you can win the game, maybe.
I ulted him to stop him from walking in and...
That's fine, that's good. Okay, you hit this guy. Okay, you guys, oh my god, this is so good. Just kill this guy, you push mid, right? Don't chase this. This is... Lulu is not worth that much. Oh, okay, that's fine. If she's free, that's fine. But you gotta push mid, right? Okay, push mid. Okay, good. Okay, so stop. What can you get?
Mid tower, since they're all dead, and then back and spend the gold from the fight in Baron.
How many mid towers can you get?
2. Maybe even 3. I don't know, because Cho's spawning soon. I'll say more, but everybody was making the call to back off.
I'll say like 2 safely, like maybe 3 if you guys are desperate. I would say you go for 3, right? This is you guys need 3 because they have no TP, right? You say they have no TP, so it's an overstay only if they can run from the front or they can TP, right? They can't run from the front. They have no globals and they can't TP. So I would say take the shit and run for your life because you guys are like screwed. But I'm really surprised. Look at this. This is a 4v2, right?
And we got a Blitzcrank. We
just hook Cho'Gath. Yeah, you just hook Cho'Gath, and then you take the 4v2. I don't think Kog's that far ahead. So this is kind of interesting. But if it was, I mean, it's not your call. It's like not really anything you can do. So that's fine. You don't worry about that shit like that either. Unless it was your call. Was it your call?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine then. You can always say like, oh, maybe I should have known better and like made the call. Right, that's like always a thing, but unless your team is like you only really need to do that in like impossible games. Okay, this kind of counts. You only really need to do that in impossible games like this. Okay, this is bad. How do we everyone should just run. This is over. This is just over. Everyone run. Yeah, this is kind of awkward. This is like you guys can't win team fights, right? So
yeah, no, I was questioning the siege, and then after this, I was like, yeah, we can't straight up fight them like that. We gotta look for picks.
Okay, when I said that you shouldn't have to lead the team, okay, I lied. You need to be able to tell your team what to do, right? Because this will happen, right? So not being able to get mid inhibitor tower will happen. Like if you don't make a Baron call that you think is right, you guys are gonna lose the opportunity. If you guys siege when you're not a sieging team, you're gonna lose the game, right? So if you can recognize these kinds of what should we do at this time, then you should try and say something, or you should try and learn as this as much. League is like very team oriented nowadays, right? You can't. It's very hard to win by yourself, unless like very hard, right? You need to be able to like have a plan. Yeah, play as a team, and then like have your team on board with the same plan, right? So if everyone wanted to back after getting the second mid tower, then everyone backs. And if everyone wants to siege, right, then everyone sieges. Well, if no one, like, if someone thinks that you shouldn't, like, you know you shouldn't, and everyone's like, they kind of think they should siege, but they don't know, then the guy who knows for sure should be like, yo, this is stupid. Let's not do this, right? The only way this works is no way, because Blitz can't hook anyone without the tanks getting in front, right? So, this is over, right? The instant you see this guy miss it and this guy get face tank and Maokai goes in on a tank, it's over, 100%. Bird can't do anything either. So, unless you can one-shot these guys, which is not really possible unless you have like, unless you're like 10 and 0, unless you have 4 items, 5 items right now, you lost, right? So, you should know that, you should try and know that like sieging is like kind of questionable, but I think there are other things to work on that don't have to be macro related quite yet. But that's just like you guys get away, so that's it's like you can't really so when people say you shouldn't play to win, you should play to improve. This is why, right? This is exactly why. You have a Bard top,
Right.
and they have Cho'Gath, and they have a stupid bot lane combo that you can't beat unless your Blitzcrank is a god, right? So in these kinds of games, you really don't worry about winning because chances are you're not gonna win.
Dodge this game, but I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah, that was some nice damage though by Bard, but there's like
Bard popping off.
Like you need like Elder Dragon, you need to like split, you need to do something interesting in order to win this game. So like look at this, he presses W. Look, right, that's the win condition. It doesn't matter that Ari's full HP. Let's take a look. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that Kog'Maw is like a third HP. He presses W, he's gonna win, right? So
I mean, it kind of does if you watch.
Oh, do you kill this guy?
I'm full HP.
Oh my! Wait, you just beasted these
then
kids.
I auto the tower.
Oh, that's awkward.
Oh,
Okay, wait,
God.
you just slaughtered these kids. Hold on, let's watch this. Actually, that was really good. You're like trying to save the game here.
Auto the tower.
Wait.
Kog just walks up and he's like a guard HP, and Cho didn't have all. Oh, or I mean, he was low, so in like 2
Whew.
autos, he's dead.
Is this he's a regular auto attacks right there by him? But this is good. Okay, his HP does matter. I lied. Okay, HP is always relevant, and that's like a reason why. But this is a really good save by you. But this is just like this game is just this game is just like super hard for you to win because of the team comp. But yeah, I don't like, focus on the early game stuff and saving your abilities and making sure you have like mana to pressure, right? Also, what are you buying? Blade of the Ring King Runons?
Yeah, Blade of the Rune King, Runons, then I got a Last Whisper, and then I went into IE.
Okay. I mean, I think that's. I mean, they have 2 tanks or whatever. I think that's fine. Probably a Lord Doms is good, right?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, yeah, because 20% extra damage on these guys.
My last item, I went GA this game just in case I got one shot by Wukong or the Cho Feast. But I was thinking maybe Rage Blade might have been better since they have so many tanks.
Right, you can't
What do you
win.
think?
Buying the GA is not going to win you the game, right? Because if you get downed in the
I
GA,
went
you
a
lost the
little too
game.
defensive with it. Right.
Yeah. If you get downed in the GA, you've already lost, right? Because you don't have a backup person, right? Ari's not going to kill tanks. It's just very hard for her to kill anyone, actually, unless it's Lulu, right? And even if it is Lulu, she's probably going to get killed by Kog'Maw after, or Wukong, so it's like super awkward for this Ari pick here. She needs to like split push or something, I don't know. But yeah, unless you guys have a sick Bard ult, this is super risky. Okay, you guys lost. Probably. This Bard ult on a... Oh, wow. This Kog'Maw... Okay, never mind. You guys couldn't do anything off that Bard play. That Bard play was actually... That's not bad.
He said it was a one trick, so...
He landed his shit, but you couldn't do anything because...
We weren't in position to do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't... Like, you can position any way you want. It's just impossible because of the team comp. But yeah, everyone's just gonna die. 100%. Unless Kog'Maw gets locked up, I'm just watching Kog'Maw. Like, it's not possible. He presses W, everyone dies, right? So, what did you get to do? You got like damage on the front line.
That's all I did.
Wukong,
Yeah,
that's kind of
I mean, I
awkward.
ultied, but
Even if you like didn't get hit by Wukong, it's like I don't know. Like if we like, if
fight
you want to
was
say
lost.
you want to play this better, you tell your team you don't want to start dragon, and then in a team fight's like similar to the gank situation where we know you're relatively safe from a gank if you have high HP and flash. Team fight, if you have flash, that's like an indicator of being like able to outplay, right? If you don't have flash, you should play super safe, right? So super safe would be like up here, right? Because down, like, where do you go down here? Where can you go?
yeah, I don't know. my team was that side before that, and that's why I took the plant over in the beginning. Cause like I was on the other side of the wall. You see it?
Oh yeah, so then that's how you know that you can't do this dragon, right? Because you guys get pushed up into this area, right? The only way this works is if like you guys can do something off Bardo. Otherwise, that's this is a Ripperino, so yeah, we can skip past this. They're just gonna take mid, sure, whatever. Wait, what's going on? You just walk past everyone. This is spicy. They're gonna try and like do something like
They're trying to cut the wave or something. I don't know.
This could, this has potential. This has potential. I like what's going on here. It doesn't work though. That's unfortunate. Baron is up. Okay, yeah. So basically, oh, actually, you can win this game. You're 10-4. You have damage and items.
Yeah, no,
Maybe you can win this
I was
game.
pretty fed this game.
But yeah, basically, it's so far it's still the same core stuff. If we ignore the stupid stuff like you landed the ult on Kog, but then you like that. Okay, that's like kind of stupid. But don't worry about that. The important stuff, right, is if you have flash, you're good to go in a team fight, right? And then make sure that you account for all their win conditions, like Wukong, E, flash, ultimate. You time their flashes too, I hope. Wukong, ultimate, Cho'Gath Q.
I ping them.
Yeah. At the very least, AD carry flash, right, is 4 minutes, 5 minutes. It's probably 4 minutes because everyone takes the mastery. But you just make sure you account for all the win conditions, and then in general, these soft rules will help you a lot in terms of thinking shortcuts, right? Thinking heuristics, right? If you have one could be like, oh, I have flash, I'm safe from a gank in lane, right? Same thing in team fights. I have flash, I'm safe from an extra thing in a team fight, right? So it could be like, oh, I can flash a Cho'Gath Q, or I can flash the Wukong combo, or you can flash the Galio if you can one-shot him after he misses, right? Stuff like that. Because that'll help. That would help you with every area of the game so far, right? From what we've seen, like that team fight that just happened and the laning phase, etc., etc. So, right, because you had flash, you made that Lulu play happen bot, right? So flash is very important to have if you want to do anything that's playmaking potential. Otherwise, you play super safe, right? So here you play super safe because you have no flash, right? That's my thinking at least. I don't know. What do you think?
It's coming up. Until then, yeah, I gotta play super safe.
Right. Oh, Kog'Maw has 3 items. You have 3 items. It's doable. It's just that they have a Lulu and you have a Blitzcrank. So unless, oh my God, there it is. That's what you're waiting for all game, right? So here we go. This is it. You can't walk up because Cho'Gath's gonna kill you. Oh, you're dead. Maybe. Oh, you're dead. Maybe. Wait a minute. They're saving you. Oh, okay. Wait, what happened? Wait, where's the team? Oh, Kog'Maw couldn't get over. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. This is good.
I started walking up. I was spam pinging somebody to come save me. I was like, "Dear God, help me!"
Yeah, that dude, Cho'Gath's returned. Okay, wow. Okay, you guys are gonna win. Holy shit. Can you get mid? Can you end the game? Is the question, and the answer is no. So get Baron.
We're back. Well, actually, we could have went top.
You could have gone top and get the inhibitor. But I don't think getting the inhibitor against this team. I mean, maybe. Oh, Baron probably. Maybe inhibitor. Honestly, Baron is fine too. But I think the inhibitor will help you guys.
Our base was getting flooded too.
Oh yeah. So Baron probably makes the most sense. Okay, this is a good camp. You need to do something like this to win. This is good. Sure, you get hit by that, you're not gonna die. Okay, you just hit the front line. Wow, you almost died to that.
I got knocked for half my health.
Oh Jesus Christ. Okay. Expending flash for the support. I think it could be okay. Oh, this is awkward. Okay, yeah.
The Wukong just comes and one shots me.
Right. So, him hooking Cho'Gath is unfortunate. But the important thing here is remember, it's the same thing. Okay, you have no flash. Now you gotta play safe, right? If you had flash, and you see this Wukong, then this is okay. Because yeah. But you should know that if you don't see, this could be Talon, right? This could be LeBlanc. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be any assassin, right? And it's still the same mindset. This could even be Rek'Sai, right? sometimes in this stupid game. This could be Rek'Sai. Like, what other assassins are there do you see in these games? This could be Ahri, right? It's the same thing. It didn't matter what champion it was, right? Because you're gonna die without flash unless you have an option, unless you have a way out, right? Blitzcrank can block for you, or a fist for you, or something, or you have like exhaust, or you have a locket. You don't have any of that, right? So flash is like the most common way out, and if you have no way out, you're gonna die to an assassin, right? So anytime you don't know where they are, you have to assume they're in the worst possible spot for you, right? Everything else, this is like really good, except the only obviously it's like unlucky that Blitz hooked Cho'Gath into you, right? So you don't worry about that, but you worry about the idea that not having flash, right? Not having these important cooldowns, not having flash or HP, right? It's still it still goes back to the same thing, the same story this whole game, right? Even if it's like 4v3, 4v2, if they can one-shot someone on your team, it's like no longer a 4v3 or 4v2, right? So everyone just dies. This is a really good idea though. To go for this pick. Who called for this? Let me see this. This is very this is like a game changer. You guys get the red sweeper. Like everyone come here, and then they like walk into their jungle for so. Why are they walking into their jungle? I don't know, but this is a really good call. But yeah, like for example, at this point on, you know, is it possible for like sometimes it's like you can't do anything and trying to do something will get you killed. I'm not saying you can't do anything. I'm saying it's very hard for you to do something with this much HP, right? So if you're gonna do something, it better be very safe because you're literally the only damage on this team besides like I mean actually does like Bard count? Like I don't even know, but you're like the only like consistent damage on this team.
He's like a second AD carry, I guess. But
yeah, like, what am I watching? This is some damage, but you're still like a super important member on the team. Like one of the you're like worth two people.
I'm the most fed right now too.
Right.
I have 13 kills.
Right, but basically,
Almost
if I were you,
build, so.
the thing to work on from this game is they're like the laning thing you talked about. You're right. You shouldn't be passive when there's no need to be, right? If there's no way for them to stop you, then you're free to hit them, right? So let's say, what's the worst possible thing that could happen if Lulu wasted her shield, Kog'Maw wasted her W, and you walk up to harass? You said a gank was going to come, right? So the worst case scenario is the gank comes out and you have to burn flash. That's still a good outcome because you drew jungle pressure, and then your team is going to win jungle and every other lane, right? Any lane that the enemy jungle is not at, and then your lane is still going to be okay, right? Because you're in it, right? So he may have relieved some pressure for Kog'Maw, but burning your flash is not going to be as good as Maokai is going to get something really good on the other side of the map, right? He's going to kill like Galio or Wukong for sure, right? Bard took Ignite and Ahri has pressure over Galio, right? So it's going to be very good for your team on the other side of the map. So basically like you have to recognize when you can pressure. That's like a recurring, that's like always going to be like a thing in this game, in any lane, in any jungle, in any role, anytime. When can you pressure? You should pressure. When you can pressure, you should pressure, right? And how do you know if you can pressure? Based on matchup, based on ability, based on wave management, right? Like I took an example of the Lulu Kog'Maw level 5, you and Blitz were level 5, no one has ults yet, but they had a huge wave, so you couldn't pressure. I mean, that's fine, right? Because they had a huge wave, you couldn't pressure. That is a-okay, right? But if you had the huge wave, you need to be the one pressuring them, right? Kog'Maw is going to try and hit the wave on their tower. You can look to harass him or zone him or roam with the ward, whatever. You need to be doing something though, right? So and then the flash idea is also very important. Like having flash, you should look to do stuff when you have flash and look to play safe and be like reactive when you don't have flash, right? That's also like a main thing in this game, right? So if you have no flash, you gotta play safe, right? Because what happens if you have no flash and Cho'Gath lands a knockup? Wukong is gonna flash over the wall and fucking go for you, etc., right? The only time you can do something like that is if you have an out, right? Like say for example you had a Lulu Karma on your team and you're like, yeah, go for it. You can go and combo me because that gets countered by Janna ultimate, Janna shield, Lulu ultimate, Lulu shield, right? If you can like verbalize, oh not Janna but Karma, but if you can like actively think about your way out of any kind of win condition they have, right? If your win condition is stronger than theirs, you can fight. Like for example, when we took a look at Kog'Maw versus Varus, Kog'Maw presses W, you cannot win even if you turn on your win condition, which is all your auto attacks and your abilities, right? You can't win because his goes on faster. His goes off faster. So it's the same. It's always the same concept. You just got to like act. You got to be able to verbalize it while you're in game, right? You got to be able to like to say it or think it or whatever. Actively like think it. That way you'll never get caught by this kind of stuff. But yeah. So Elder Dragon's going down. This is good. If they tank Elder Dragon long enough, oh Jesus.
They got redemption.
Okay, so walking up, no flash. Oh Jesus Christ, run! Yeah, you're probably gonna die. And it was like a 4v5 too. So yeah, see, like he had flash, so he could go in. Oh my God, that was really good, dude. The trade kill is really good here. Like no joke. How'd you get that? He had no W. Is that what I'm seeing? He had no W. Right here, he's just basic auto attacks. So he had no win condition. You had one win condition. Cho'Gath had no ultimate, and Lulu had no ultimate. So this is your win condition went off faster than his 0, right? They had like maybe he had like a half or whatever. So that's why you won, right? If he had W, nothing you could do. Why didn't he have W? He probably killed someone, right? And then it goes off. Yep, okay, that makes sense, right? So like that. This is the equivalent of you flashing forward without your ultimate, right? Seems boosted because it is. All goes back to the same idea. And then edge cases is like if he has 6 items at like 20 minutes, you can do something like that. But you don't practice that. You don't practice that because that does not happen consistently, right? Yeah. So yeah. It's always back to the same thing. Like this is the exact same stuff I'm working on, right? It's always the same thing. It's always the same thing. And then it just gets more specific as you go like up the ranks, right? So if you say like in Bronze 5, you would tell an Ashe player that his win condition is not volley. It'd be like, okay, land your arrow is the first step. And the second step, maybe like Silver or whatever, land your arrow on a carry, right? That's the next step. So you get more specific. And then like Challenger, you're like, you missed the volley, you wait 16 seconds, right? Something like that. So somehow you guys still in this game though. You're keeping your team in the game, honestly. If that Kog'Maw lived, he could probably end the game by pushing mid or something.
Yeah.
Another idea you can work on. I'm not sure if it's like I'm not sure if it's, I can't tell from this game alone, but maybe you need to be like catching waves as well, right? The like CS in this game is super low, and that's concerning because CS gives you money, but you got a bunch of kills, so it wasn't really a problem in this game because you had like the money to do so. Like you had like the money for this game, but like that's always gonna be important, right? If you ever watch any of the challenger players on YouTube, that's what they do. Like if this ever comes up again, right? Like people are sharing lanes, you can't figure out how to get another wave of farm, load up a replay on YouTube of like a challenger player like Korea or whatever, and then you copy exactly what they do, and that'll like hope for sure, right? You can't go wrong doing that usually.
I've been watching some of Uzi's stuff to try to get better with my laning.
Nice. Now, he is aggressive in lane, right?
Yeah.
From what I've seen. Oh, this is another good try. They're gonna push his tower. They're gonna keep going. Blitz is gonna hook someone. At this point, it's okay for Blitz to hook anyone. Oh my God! If he has no flash, he has flash. Okay, whatever.
And they got a Galley ult too. It's kind of hard.
Oh wait, Ari's dead. Never mind. This is impossible. Oh yeah. What happened to her? Oh, she just died mid.
Oh, she was mid for some reason there. Yeah, she got caught out like the last 3 times.
Yeah, it's not really too much you can do about that except backping your team and say if you want to do something, it better be game winning, right? Because 4v5 is very hard. Like you can't win 4v5. You can't win. Like if you come in for that Cho'Gath, you lose the game because they kill you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why 4v5 is just like impossible. Okay, I mean you don't have to commit much for this. This is a free kill. You trade Blitz for Cho'Gath, and then they're gonna take a while to kill Blitz. This could be good. This could be good. Wait, did you use your ultimate already? You still have it, right? That's really good, right? Okay, that is exactly what I want you to do for your other abilities as well, right? Because you having your ultimate can win this game, right? Like for example, if you landed on Lulu, and then Lulu's the activator for half of Kog's damage, right? Stuff like that. is really important. Like having the pressure is really important. It's like the same as like holding on to blitz hook, right? So this is really good, right? So if you can like ult the Wukong here or something, I don't know, you probably can't ult here, but if you can like find an opportunity to use it, it's really good. It's really good to save it.
I was pinging my R there the last little bit, but they got out.
There was like nothing you could do. There's like no opportunity here, right? Unless you can say this right here.
So I ult the
But that's
Wukong
not
right there, but
that's like not really easy, right? Like
he
you would
wants
have to be
ult,
watching the
but-
Kog'Maw the whole time to see if he had his W up. So it's like
Yeah.
kind of hard. So that's fine. Like this is all fine. That was really good. That was really well played. They didn't end the game. And that's like really important because they caught someone at 40 minutes and they didn't end the game. So you guys are hanging in there. Oh my God, this Baron call is, you need this. You need this and you need to get out. Or you need this and you need to kill everyone. Yeah, you can't stay in the pit because you're just gonna die. And if you use flash to get the Baron, you're gonna die. So basically, there's like almost no hope at this point because you can't do anything, right? So basically, it was all the stuff beforehand. This fight is just too hard, right? Fix the stuff that was beforehand. So if we want to like go back, you have any questions, by the way?
A few, but I mean, yeah, wait till after.
All right, so
It's like not necessarily pertaining to this.
for like a recap, the most important stuff in order, I think, is for laning. If you want to work on laning the most, you say exactly what we talked about, right? Based on your matchup, do you win? If the answer is yes, you look to pressure on every time he wants to hit your CS. The wave is even, right? Every time he wants to hit your CS, you look to pressure. You look to auto attack him. You don't even have to auto attack him. You just get a little bit closer, and he'll be like, "Oh shit, what the hell? Get away from me!" Right? You have to like scare hit. Like when you're in a winning matchup, like if you're playing Kalista versus Tristana, and you don't pressure him on minions, he's just gonna push you in, and you lost your lane advantage, right? So it's the same concept. Varus versus Kog'Maw. You need to be able to like if he hits this, you need to be able to threaten him like you did. Like this is good. Whatever. I think the first E was like really good, right?
Yeah, it was like the early trade.
Perfect, right there. Perfect. He didn't even have to go for CS for you to look for that. That was really good. But the best time is when they go for CS, right? That's if you can do this every single time, right? So you doing that shows me that you know how to do it. Now you have to do it for every time you use your E, right?
To be more consistent.
Exactly. Because all the other E's were the opposite, right? It was like without auto attacks or like trying to get minions, right? So the first thing is winning matchup, look to pressure. Okay, and then if you have a losing matchup, you look to pressure if you're pushing in, right? Like if they can create the wave, like at a level 5 and push in, they can pressure because they have more minions, and that outweighs the matchup advantage. And if you're worried about ganks, you ask yourself, do I have flash and do I have heal? If you have, flash and HP. If you have both, good to go, right? You're good to go unless it's like unavoidable. Like what's an unavoidable gank? Like Rammus, maybe
like Kalista, Thresh, and
yeah.
like any jungler or CC at that point.
Kalista, Thresh, and
CC.
Exactly. Unless they have some very strong CC in lane or something like that, right? You're good to go if you have flash and heal. That's like a really good base guideline to go off of, right? Because you were asking, aren't you afraid of Cho'Gath here? And the answer is no, right? And we know that instantly because you have flash and heal. Flash and HP, right? So, flash, super important. In team fights, if you're playing something like Varus, you need to know your outs. And the most basic out there is flash, right? So when I said you were dead to Cho'Gath earlier and I was wrong, it's because your out was your 3 teammates CCing him. If you were alone, you're dead, right? But your out was your teammates CCing him. If you can play like that, that's really good, right? You're probably better than me. But the basic out is flash, right? So if you think you have no outs and the enemy has a Talon and he's flanking, you say, we can't walk up because I am going to die immediately. So someone has to give me a save. Someone has to save their abilities for me. Blitzcrank, don't hook anyone because I need you to fist this Talon that's coming for me, right? And then if you have flash, then you're like, oh, yeah, he can jump me. I'm just going to flash ult or something like that, right? You have your out, right? And then the last thing we talked about, or I guess related, was the mana and having the mana and cooldown, right? Because the mid lane fight, I was like, you guys are gonna lose mid and dragon because no one has mana or HP, right? So you can't stop them from doing anything. Right. And then I guess the like an important sentiment to take away from this game is that you expect to lose these games, but try and practice whatever you're working on, right? Because you have some weird shit going on, right? And team comp is not theoretically should not be able to win, right? So just focus on improving, and I think that'll like really help keep your sanity, because this can happen like 5 games in a row and you can lose your mind. I can attest to that, right? So
Yeah.
and then if you want to get more in depth to this laning stuff, so this is kind of interesting because it's Lulu Kog'Maw, and Lulu, there's like a strong pair, right? If it was Tristana, Lulu would be a little different. But if you have a support that's reliant on skill shots, you can't pressure if they're hiding behind minions, right? You need to like draw them out or something. So this would be like a standard trade, and then he can pressure. You still hit them, right? But you can't do an extended trade, right? You still hit them, but you back off immediately. So then if they chase your
it had to be like a really short trade.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you have Alistar, for example, he doesn't give a shit about minions because you just point and click, right? Same with Taric, right? Yeah. It's matchup dependent, right? It's matchup based. Like it's always gonna be matchup based, right? So I think those are the most important things that I would work on if I were you. Most importantly, if you really want to work on laning, like you were saying, I think that's a good thing to work on. The whole flash up, good to go from ganks, flash and HP, right? And then the whole pressure if you're in a winning lane, right? If you're in a winning lane, right? Like this right here, he hits you, you hit back, right? You hit back and you throw an E, and then you walk away, right? You win that trade because now Blitzcrank is gonna walk up, and they're gonna be like, what the hell? So and Kog'Maw's gonna lose minions at the same time, right? So it's like that would be like a very good pressure. But if, for example, Lulu was like on top of you, you can't do that, right? So very matchup dependent. And then like as like a last thing, if you want to work on in like fighting in general, even if you have kill pressure, you cannot go in unless you account for all their win conditions, right? So let's say what's a good example? Kog'Maw is like 20% health, right? And you know you can kill him in one auto attack, but Lulu's just gonna shield him. Do you flash in? No, you can't, right? Because you can't finish him, right? It's the same idea. I think there was an example in this game somewhere in a fight. I can't think of it now, but I think we were talking about like how I was saying you don't have flash, so you can't like go kill him or something like that. I don't know.
Is that where I flashed for the Lulu?
I think that's fine as long as you know that you want to run after that, right? That's like, because Lulu's important, right? Using your flash to kill someone on the enemy team is important. But that also means you can't walk up after. Okay, yeah. Wukong came in, right? And you wanted to finish off Galio, but it's the same thing. If someone could save Galio, then you can't go in, right? So Wukong could save Galio, you can't go in, right? Something like that. Unless your like win condition is stronger, like unless your auto attacks are so strong, Wukong can't one shot you and you kill him immediately, then you can do it. But most of the time you can't, right? So it's same concept. It's always the same concept. So I would say work on those things, and I think that'll help you the most right now, right? And then I don't know about
team fighting was okay, right?
Yeah, team fighting was good except when you didn't have flash, right? When you didn't have flash, it was like basically you died every time you didn't have flash, right? So it's like an indicator for you to say you play conservative and you play for value, right? Because if you don't have flash, you can't do anything most of the time. Not anything, but you can't make big plays, right? That's why if you ever watch like highlight plays, every time you're like impressed by something, it's because they have flash up most of the time, right? You need to have flash. Flash is super important, basically. So yeah. Any questions, by the way?
I think just the value stuff and then learning matchups, right? That would probably be a lot to work on mostly.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you like the matchup stuff, this is what I've been told, and what I tell other people is like every time you're in champ select, like pay attention. The instant champ select is over, the game is loading. You pay attention to your lane 2v2. Okay, how do you want to play this lane? Okay, Blitzcrank, you want to hook stuff. So as long as you guys keep your HP high, that portion is available. Do they have counters to your hook? They have Tristana, Ezreal, whatever. this Blitzcrank is useless, so you're in a losing lane. And then you take a look at like say for example, if you had Janna Varus versus Lulu Kog. Okay, how do you win? Trade on Janna Shield. I'll play Lulu E and Kog'Maw W, and if they chase, we have Janna Tornado, right? So you want to take short burst trades with your Janna Shield, and then ideally you wait until they lose one of their like abilities, right? Whether Lulu E's off cooldown or on cooldown, and then Kog'Maw W is probably not gonna be on cooldown, but if it is, then that's a good time to go, right? So that's how you analyze it. And then second is, how strong is the jungler, right? Rek'Sai and Elise are really strong, but then you see something like what's like a weak jungler right now, like Kayn, right? You're like, oh, Kayn, I don't really give a shit unless he's like level 6 and with dark, like whatever the red form is, right? You don't really care about that gank because it's not gonna do anything, right? So the first thing is a 2v2 bot matchup, and then the second thing is the jungle matchup. And then one thing to note is that if you can draw pressure bot using your flash, right? They gank you, you use your flash, that's a good result. No one dies, that's a good result because they waste their time, right? So those are like the core of the core things to think about for laning. And then the other thing was like value, right? Yeah, definitely keep track of your mana and what you're doing with your abilities, right? Basically, you need to ask yourself, is this like worth it? And if you need to like ask yourself, it's probably not worth it, right?
Right.
So you need to
should be able to just know.
Right. Yeah. So like for me, I've been using Tristana E auto attack, and then I like watch replays of everyone else doing it. I'm like, wait, I'm like using it incorrectly because I'm not getting enough value out of it, and it's just like does not do enough damage. And then I don't have any pressure because it's down cooldown, right? So you start saving it, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is when you use it, when you're all inning and they have no escape, right? So full damage goes off, and then there's nothing they can do, right? So keep that in mind as well, I would say. I mean, your ultimates were really good. It's just the E and the Q. I mean, I don't really know about Qs, but your E's in lane at least were like, I don't know. And then your damage.
I didn't.
Sorry, what were you saying?
No. I was just gonna say I didn't really like. I don't think Q's too much important on Varus right now, especially if you're doing the EW mix with Bork. Like, the only way I really use it is to proc my W passive.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And then your team fighting was really good, right? You weren't losing the game because you didn't know how to put out max damage. You were losing the game because you're playing in an unsafe way without flash, right? So you work on that. Like your ability to put out damage is good. Yeah. I agree. Like your team fighting was good, except for that.
I thought my team fighting was decent. It's just I needed to work on my laning a little bit. I feel like I've been learning a lot too, because I've been playing with like Masters and D2 players a lot. Like I had Hinshin on my team the other day, or yeah, like the game before this actually, I had a Hinshin on my team.
Nice.
It was interesting.
Nice.
But and then this Kog'Maw here is Masters, so I mean, I've been learning a lot just from spamming my solo queue playing in the higher elos.
Where my English go? That's a nice name. But yeah, definitely like playing with the higher rank players will definitely put you on the fast track for being able to put this into practice as well, right? Because it's like you play against worse players, and it's like pick up bad habits and stuff, right?
Bad habits, yeah.
I
was just gonna say that.
Exactly. So it's good. Based on like how well this game went, despite the fact that this comp is like 1,000 times better than this comp, I'm pretty impressed. So it's like really good.
I feel like I gotta carry this if I fixed a few things.
But yeah. Any last questions, comments, concerns? I can't believe he let that hook land. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, this game was such a fiesta. I had a question about it the other day, but just getting in the mindset to keep track of all these things. Like, I feel like half the time, like I try to keep all this stuff in mind, but sometimes I feel like it's hard, and I just end up going with the flow of the game.
Like the best way to think about this.
How do I get more consistent with that?
You gotta make it. This is not like a I'll do this for like this month, and then the next year I'll be good to go. No, this is like something we're trying to like make a habit where you do this literally every game, right? Because every game you don't do this is reverting like back, right? So like recently I have been doing that, and it's like not good, right? So we're building like habits that'll stick with us for the rest of our like league careers, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
And
no, I get you.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
like it's impressive that like higher the players and stuff can keep track of all this thing in mind. Like I try to do it, just sometimes I get lost in the game, let's say, and then I'll fuck up. Like normally I could account for the Wukong, and then like as you could see, like how I died the one time, like I lost track of him. You know, it's
mhm,
hard to.
mhm.
I'm just trying to figure out a way to get more consistent with that.
Right, right. It's like right. That's like it's like you said. The consistency is the most important thing, right? So, I think what I'm not sure if this will like help you, but the method I found works best for me is that if I say it out loud, I'll literally like, okay, now I need to watch out for like the Wukong is gonna he has flash, he's gonna eat flash me, right? So if I can say it out loud, that'll stick with me in game. I'm not like I don't know if this works for other people, but that works best for me, right? So in champion select, I literally say this shit out loud and then mid game comes around. I'm like, oh, in these team fights, I have to watch for this, right? And then
Uh,
that's how I do it.
I think it makes sense, kind of like where like people like remember stuff better if they write it down, because then they've seen themselves write it down. I think it's kind of like that. So yeah, that makes sense.
Like in high school, they like make you take notes, and you're like, oh, it's because you remember it better. Yeah, it's exactly like that. Yeah. Turns out, I guess it works. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, try that out. Maybe it'll work for you, maybe not. But yeah, find a way to do it, and I think that'll really help you out.
All right.
Sounds good. Anything
Yeah,
else? Any
sounds
any other questions before we?
regarding this particular VOD, no. Just like I mean, there's some general stuff I could ask you, but I don't know if you have time or
No,
whatever,
no, no. Go for it.
or
Go
if
for it.
you
Go
want
for
to
it.
put it in the recording. I don't know.
Go for it. Go for it.
Uh, like I said, I haven't played a lot of Twitch, and I struggle against them. Can you give me some like Twitch tips playing against and playing as him?
So
Oh, you
everyone
play a lot
knows
of
that
Twitch.
Twitch scales to infinity, right? So, well, not maybe not infinity, but he scales really well. And the question is, oh, why does he scale
Right.
really well? Well, we identified that his win condition in lane is, well, it's not, maybe his max damage is, 6 auto attacks expunge, right? That's like the baseline. But how long does it take to get there? Really fucking
It's a
long,
lot,
right?
yeah.
And then you're like, oh, how does that change late game? Well, he can stealth up and use his ult. So, how long does it take to get 6 auto attacks and expunge? Really fucking short, right? So, if you can recognize that, Twitch needs that time to get the damage off, right? Then you'll be like, oh, when the mid game comes around and you ask yourself, can I get 6 auto attacks off? If the answer is no, you're not going to win. If the answer is yes, you are going to win, unless they have like exhaust or like gen ult or something like that, right? Unless they have something like that, you're going to win, right? And then on top of that, once you can figure out if you can do your kill potential, you ask yourself, do I have flash to dodge XYZ when it comes out, right? If you're playing against Sona, you come out of stealth, what's she gonna do? She's gonna ult you in the face, right? So if you have flash for that, then you can take the 6 auto attacks and an expunge, right? So it all boils down to the same like core concepts, except you apply it to champion specific, right?
Right.
So
Yeah, okay.
yeah, for Twitch, it's that, and then you say, okay, how do you use your cask? In terms of lane pressure, if you're like pressuring them, when do you use it? Right when they're about to last hit, right? Because then if they last hit, you're gonna hit them and expunge, because that's gonna be like 5 stacks, right? And then if they don't hit it, they lost 2 CS. So you use your cask to deny 2 CS. That's really good, right? And then later mid game, late game, you don't need to use cask on them. You need to use it where they're gonna run to, right? So if you're playing
For the
against
slow. Right.
exactly. So if you're playing against a Kog'Maw and you know he has flash, you throw it, and you know his only way to walk away is backwards. You throw it behind him 1 flash distance away. Oh, he can't go anywhere, right? So stuff like that. And basically, it's like every time you use your Q, you need an assist or you're gonna be useless, right? Because if you can see Twitch, he's not very threatening. But if he's in stealth, you have to be afraid of him, right? It's like Wukong. If you can see Wukong, you don't give a shit, because if he E's forward, he's gonna die. If you can't see him, you're gonna be super scared because he can do it anytime. It's the same thing with Twitch. If you use ambush and you don't get anything, you tell your team don't do anything for 20 seconds because you need that, or you can't win. So that's like Twitch in a nutshell.
Yeah. The thing that makes me cringe the most when I play Twitch is like I swear to God, people walk out of all my auto attacks when I ult.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying
Triggers
too.
me. I don't know why that's a thing.
Yeah, same. Well, I mean, I guess it makes up for him being able to like auto attack through 5 people, but I don't know. It's pretty dumb. I sometimes that happens too, but I think it happens like not often enough for it to be too much of a difference in the long run, right? But it is kind of annoying. I agree.
The same thing with Lucian Q. They changed it to where you can walk out of it a while ago.
Yeah, yeah. That's why Lucian, I don't know. Lucian, no one plays Lucian. I'm sad that it's just like they're removing 80 carries from the bot lane. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Lucian's
Yeah.
the mid laner, and Ezreal's in the jungle,
Well,
and Graves is
yeah, I
playing.
was just saying that like every AD carry that becomes unviable in bot lane just ends up playing in jungle or mid lane.
I know, right? I mean, I guess we got Varus back, but and we got Jin, but we're still like, I feel like we're still losing 80 carries, right? Because like half of them aren't even viable. Anyways, yeah.
It's like what Xayah, Twitch, Kog'Maw pretty much right now.
Yep, sounds about right. And then you like throwing Tristana and like Callisto, whatever.
Yeah, Trist too. I'm playing a lot of Callisto lately. I think she's super fun. It's just if you don't stop playing with her, you kind of get outscaled.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's yeah. You pick her for the laning in the mid game, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Callisto's like the champ. Like you want to practice aggression? There you go. You're gonna win every lane matchup.
Yeah, no, I've been playing a lot of her. I've been playing her and Xayah and Varus mostly lately.
That's good. They're all good in lane. So, knowing when to press, it's like easier to know when you can pressure because usually it's more likely that you can with those champions. Oh. Yeah. Anything else before we wrap this up?
No, I think that's it. Hopefully,
right.
I can learn what you gave me and make a late season master surge because I've been hovering D4 and D3, so
Dude,
I'm
you got like a
getting
month.
closer.
You got like 2 months, right? A month and a half. I believe it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know how things go. If you have any further questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. But yeah.
Alrighty.
I think that'll conclude our session.
Alrighty. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, no problem. Do you mind if this goes on YouTube?
No, not at all.
All right, cool. Yeah, good luck out there. And if you're playing with like these higher ranked players, I'm sure like your MMR is like really high, so it's gonna be good for climbing, right? So, good luck.
Yeah, good luck in the Korean solo queue. Hopefully, you can get higher and play Bang before you go.
hopefully.
That'd be the dream, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. Play him and beat him, right? So.
Yeah, there you go. That would be even better.
All right, good luck to both of us.
By the way,
have a. Was it nighttime over there? Have a good day, I guess.
No, it's like 2.
Okay, have a good night then.
Yeah, all right. Have a good one, man.